most venerables, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this is a very special day. This is a very historical event which is going to take place in this very historical city of Sagaing, which basically means that the city of victory, Jayapuri. So I would like to make a humble request to all distinguished guests, all delegates, observer, please take your seat, because soon we are going to start this inauguration ceremony of the World Buddhist Peace Conference, Peace and Wisdom. I'm sure that this is a good opportunity not only to talk about peace, but we can be peace in this very majestic hall. We can share that peace with each other, and then we can even expand that peacefulness to our surroundings, to our nation, and to the world. So this is a small starting. This is a small point of peace we are trying to create. So I would like to request every distinguished fellow, delegates, observers, your venerables, to take, as it is designated by very, very important guest of this event, His Excellency the President. With the most respected, Venerable Chairman Sayadaw of the Sangha Mahanayaka Committee, State Sangha Mahanayaka, and all other distinguished guests will be here. Less chaotic, make this hall of peace from every individual's heart. Take your seat so it will be easier for all the volunteers and if there is any shortcoming, if there is anything we have to amend before the actual time. So on behalf of the organizing committee, so thankful for accepting the invitation and taking your time to this very historical city. Morning session, you will have a golden opportunity to see around the Sagaing hill, Buddhist monastery and temple around thousands of here in this hill. There are over tens of thousands Buddhist monks and nuns residing only these small hills. So you are in the Buddhist land. You are where you can see the influence of Buddha's teaching, and especially the influence of what do we mean by peace. And of course, by attending the conference, I'm sure that we will increase our understanding, our wisdom, at least something more than how we come this morning. I hope that this morning we have our own agendas, we have our own views, we have our own understanding, but by sitting in this convocation hall, in this sacred pagoda, we will tune each other's view, each other's opinion, experiences, expertise, so that at least when the conference is over, we can proudly say that we are more wise now. We learned something, and we are the key figure. We are small effort to make this world more peaceful to live in. I hope that this is a normal procedure in every conference, that sometimes we find that it is more hectic, more chaos, but when the leader of state is attending the conference, it is a great honor, but at the same time, there is a procedures we have to go through for our own safety and the safety of the conference, of the gathering. So we would like to apologize any inconvenience which may occur during the conference. But however, all those inconveniences for our own sake, for our own security, peace, as we are taking that message beyond this very place. So once you have crossed over the security gate, I would like to invite every one of us to get into this very hall and enjoy the scenery, enjoy the atmosphere, and enjoy the peace. By schedule, it is 8:20. His Holiness, the Chairman Sayadaw of the State Sangha Mahanayaka, together with His Excellency President, will arrive in this hall, and soon after that, we'll have a traditional Buddhist way of beginning an event by recollecting the Buddha with the stanzas, which is very common to most Buddhist countries. It is Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa 3 times. Then we'll have all distinguished guests representing the state, the religion, light the candle, light the lamp. Then after that, we'll have our program proceed on until the full morning. It is from 8:30 to 11, so you'll have at least 3 hours of very enriching experiences. There are few messages from very distinguished persons who has a great role in creating peace in this world. You have speeches from distinguished personalities. And of course, we still have a special chanting will be performed by Vajrayana Buddhist monks from Ladakh. For this conference, we have honor to welcome a big group of Ladakhian Vajrayana Lamas who brought with them the Buddha's relics to this very land. And they will perform a Vajrayana chanting as an opening chanting as well. Then we'll have a very important, effective, short and sweet keynote speech by Venerable Tit Kwong Ba. So it will be end with exchange of souvenir and the group photo before we go to have our scrumptious Burmese lunch, which is provided by the host. So if you are a new and first-time visitor in Myanmar, this is a golden opportunity to try some of the local dishes. For example, this morning I tried, I think it's called mohinga. It's a very spicy, delicious. I think it is one of the local dishes one need to try.
Good morning, Venerable Sirs, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. You have just heard from my colleague, the Venerable Dr. Sakya Wamsa Visuddhi, Deputy Director for Foreign Affairs of Mahamakul University in Thailand. I'm Venerable Dr. Tamasami from Oxford University in England, and I'm going to be your MC this morning. I would like to inform you about the procedure this morning. Before that, first and foremost, I'd like to make two requests, and I would like to ask for your kind cooperation. The first one is to leave all your mobiles and iPad outside with the security, to deposit your electronic item over there, and not to take photo during the opening proceeding. The second request I would like to make is during the proceeding this morning, because we have the leader of the Sangha of Myanmar as well as the president of Myanmar among us. So we do have some security protocol for which I request your cooperation and understanding. So my second request is for you not to move around during the proceeding. Kindly be seated in your place. Kindly be seated in your place. Thank you. Now, the program, the opening program. Very soon, in about 15 minutes time, all the participants will have arrived in this conference hall and be seated in their place. And very soon after that, the VVIP, that is His Holiness, the Chairman General of the Myanmar Sangha, together with His Excellency, the President of Myanmar, will be ushered into the room by the Most Venerable Siddhaguru Sayadaw Dr. Shin Nyanisara. At that time, I also would like to request your kind cooperation, both clergy and lay people, to kindly stand up at that time and welcome His Holiness and His Excellency. The opening ceremony will be started with the chanting together of the stanza Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammasambuddhassa 3 times together. This is what we do in Myanmar to open any Buddhist occasion. Followed by the opening stanza, we will offer light to the Buddha. As you can see, we have 3 candles in front of you, in front of the Buddha. And they will be lit by His Holiness, the Chairman Sayadaw, and the Most Venerable Siddhiku Sayadaw, and also His Excellency, the President of Myanmar. After that, the Vajrayana Buddhists from Ladakh, they are going to do the recitation as part of the opening ceremony to invoke the blessing of the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, the Triple Gem, on the conference and all the participants. The chanting will be followed by the welcome address by the Chancellor of Siddhiku International Buddhist Academy, the Most Venerable Dr. Ajahn Anisara. The welcome address will be followed by a special address by His Excellency, the President of Myanmar, U Thein Sein. His Excellency is very kind to give his time to this conference, and he will be among us very soon. For this, we are very grateful, and I also would like to request your kind request, your kind cooperation, so that we can follow necessary security protocol and diplomatic protocol. This morning, we will also hear from the Most Venerable Professor Dr. Kumara Biwamsa, who is the head of the whole Sangha in Myanmar. His Holiness is also advancing in years, but he still makes effort to grace this occasion. So we are very grateful to His Holiness. We also have speeches and messages from distinguished representatives of countries, from various countries as well as different faiths, to be speaking this morning. Among us, we have former Prime Minister of Nepal, former Deputy Prime Minister of Thailand, to be speaking this morning as part of the opening ceremony. We also have a message from the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. The message is from the United Nations Office of Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator in Yangon, the Ambassador of European Union to Myanmar, the Ambassador of USA to Myanmar, the Ambassador of India to Myanmar, and also speech from the Myanmar Council of Churches and the Hindu Women Organization of Myanmar.
ဘေးလေးကနေဆိုယူလို့ရမယ်
The keynote speech this morning will be delivered by the Most Venerable Tik Quang Ba, Deputy Chairman, United Vietnamese Buddhist Congregation of Australia and New Zealand. We hope to wrap up the opening ceremony before 11 and with a group photo session.
Hả? À, số bên này mà. Thì mà thằng chỉ điêu của lò đấy. Mai đâu hôm nay hoa lâu rồi nó nên lấy xịt tủ biển nè. Yeah. Please. See? Yeah, today, only today. Tomorrow morning? Tomorrow, yeah.
Kindly stand up to welcome His Holiness, the Chairman of the State Sangha Manaka Council of Myanmar, and also Rector of this university, the Most Venerable Dr. Ndamala Biwamsa. Venerable Mausanga, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Kindly be seated. Seated in the middle is the Chairman of the State Sangha Manaka Council of Myanmar, who is the head of all Myanmar Sangha in the whole country. And on his left is the Most Venerable Rector of this university, the Most Venerable Dr. Ndamala Biwamsa. verses. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to start the opening ceremony very soon. Kindly be seated in your place. And I would like to request you for your cooperation during the proceeding, not to move around, but to be seated in your place. This is for security protocol. Thank you. And I also would like to make another request during the proceeding, not to get up and take photo. Actually, kindly leave your mobile and iPad with the security at the entrance. Thank you.
သူတို့ကတိုင်နေလို့ခက်နေလို့ဗျပြောလို့မရဟုတ်ပါဘုန်းကြီးဒီပြီးတော့ကြောက်ကြောက်ဒီရလို့ဗျဟုတ်ပါသူတို့အရေးကြီးတယ်ကြောက်ဗျဘုန်းကြောက်ဗျမရပါဘူးအဲ့နော် ဟုတ်တယ်နိုင်ရနေရာလေးတွေကြက်တော့ဖွင့်လိုက်ပါခင်ဗျာ
Point အကုန်လုံးထိုင်ခိုင်းလိုက်ဗျာအကုန်လုံးထိုင်ခိုင်းလိုက်လာတော့အကုန်လုံးပဲထိုင်ခိုင်းလိုက်ပါအကုန်လုံးပဲထိုင်ခိုင်းလိုက်ပါဗျာ Whenever, ladies and gentlemen, kindly take up your seat. We are going to be receiving His Excellency, the President of Myanmar, very soon. Good morning, Venerable Mahasangha, Your Holiness, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to start the opening ceremony very soon. Kindly be seated in your place. And during the proceeding, kindly refrain from taking photos and moving around. Thank you. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. Once again, I would like to welcome all of you to the World Buddhist Peace Conference at the Siddhaghosa Buddhist Academy in Sagaing. The opening ceremony will be graced by His Holiness, the Chancellor of the Sangha Mahanaga Committee, and will also be graced by His Excellency, President of Myanmar, U Thein Sein. Therefore, I would like to request for your kind cooperation to be seated, and when the Most Venerable Siddhaghosa enters the hall, the conference hall, with His Excellency, the President of Myanmar, to kindly stand up and welcome the Most Venerable Siddhaghosa and His Excellency. This conference is attended by delegates, more than 500 delegates, 231 of them from overseas, altogether from 54 countries. And there will be 69 papers delivered during this conference. We would like to thank you for coming and participating in this important conference.
Namaste. Namaste. Now, now. Siguro, yeah.